What's up, Heat Nation? Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat basketball channel. My name is Amir, and for today's video, I want to talk about the Miami Heat's center, Thomas Bryant. Has Thomas Bryant locked up the Heat's backup center role for this upcoming season? So, one of the issues the Heat faced in their 2023 NBA Final Series last year against the Nuggets was their lack of size. Behind Bam Adebayo, the Heat just didn't have the necessary bodies up front to contest with the Nuggets front court. It was an issue they faced back in 2020 against the Lakers as well, with Adebayo back then being their only option to match up with the Lakers front line. So the Heat do have a couple of players that are in their rotation that are young and have potential. So they have Nikola Jovic and Orlando Robinson, who are definitely going to become key front court contributors this season. But the Heat needed to go get more experienced options, and they did that this offseason. So Thomas Bryant was a member of the Nuggets last year. He didn't play much for them during the second half of the season after he was acquired in a trade with the Lakers at the deadline. By the time the playoffs rolled around last season, he was pretty much out of the rotation. And honestly, that wasn't indicative of his ability to contribute off the bench. I think Nuggets head coach Mike Malone just wanted to run a tighter rotation, especially in the playoffs, and trusted 8 to 9 players. And, Thomas Bryant is experienced, but he still is relatively young. He's only 26 years old. So prior to being traded to the Nuggets, Thomas Bryant was having one of the best seasons of his career with the Lakers. He had moved into the starting lineup in place of an injured Anthony Davis, and he was putting up pretty good numbers. And during a stretch of games when Davis was sidelined as usual, Bryant averaged 17 points per game and 10.5 rebounds over a 13-game stretch. Kind of similar to what Omer Yurtseven did last year when he was starting, I think it was 13 games as well. So Thomas Bryant definitely brings an element of size and skill that the Miami Heat definitely needed and lacked last season. And with the Lakers, he showed that he can be a valuable pick and roll or even pick and pop threat. And he's shown a little bit of that with Tyler Hero this preseason. He has good hands and good ability to roll to the basket and finish at the rim. He can also pop out and shoot the occasional three-pointer with some consistency. He holds a career average of 36.6% shooting from the three-point line, and he shot a career high 44.1% from three-point range with the Lakers and Nuggets last season. So far in this preseason, Thomas Bryant has been active. He's been energetic. He basically is a great fit to play behind Bam Adebayo, and Bam essentially needs 15 to 18 minutes of rest per game. So whenever he sits, he can come in and contribute, and is a big body that can help with rebounding. He's not the greatest defender. He's not really a rim protector, but he's not horrible, and he can improve. He's still relatively young. He can learn the Heat's system, and once the Heat get their full rotation, it will be interesting to see how he fits in with their second unit. There are players that are on that second unit that have been out. Players like Caleb Martin, Jovic, and Hawkes have both been hurt. So interesting to see him play with that second unit. But so far, it's an encouraging sign to see that he's been playing really well. So in the first preseason game when the Heats beat the Hornets, Thomas Bryant came off the bench, played 19 minutes, scored 15 points, had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, was 4 for 7 from the field. This is key. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. He also had a block and a steal. The game against the Spurs, the Heat lost their second game of the season. He started, actually. He only played 20 minutes. He had 4 points, 5 rebounds on 2 for 5 shooting. So not the best game, but he only took 5 shots. And then the most recent victory, which was the third preseason game this year, was the Heat versus the Grizzlies. Most of the starters played for the Heat that game, so he went back to the bench. Thomas Bryant played 17 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds off 4 of 6 shooting, and 5 for 5 from the line. So he's 12 for 12 so far in the preseason from the line as a center. So I'm encouraged by that. I think he is definitely going to be the Heat's backup center. Starting center is obviously Bam Adebayo. So it does look like Orlando Robinson is going to be third on that depth chart. I'm sure he'll still have opportunity to play. He hasn't had as much time this preseason as Thomas Bryant has had. So I think that's a clear indication. And Thomas Bryant has been playing better so far. But with the Heat, we know that there are going to be injuries, and the Heat team this season is really deep. So there is going to be an opportunity, I think, for 12 players or so, maybe even 13, to get minutes throughout the season. So I'm excited. I think he's definitely going to be our backup center. And who knows? I mean, if the Heat change their lineup for some reason, which I doubt they would, and put Bam at the 4, I could see them going with a larger lineup against certain teams and starting Thomas Bryant. So let me know what you guys think about Thomas Bryant. How do you feel about him thus far? Do you think he's a good fit with the Heat? Do you think he's going to have a good season? I think he is. I'm happy with the depth because I also like Orlando Robinson as well as a young and up-and-coming player who doesn't have a guaranteed salary standard contract until the season starts. But I'm happy with the depth of this team so far, and I'm happy with Thomas Bryant's play thus far in the preseason, even though it doesn't mean anything. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. And I'm also on my path to 400 subscribers. So if you could please subscribe to the channel if you want to get more Heat content, more news, updates, and recaps during the season. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys soon.